America's biblical type. What did you mean by that?
Well, I do not think America is directly in Bible prophecy, but I believe we have a prophetic type, and that prophetic type is ancient Judah. Now, no other nation has ever been blessed in the history of the world like we have been blessed except Judah. Judah had great leaders. They had prosperity. They had peace. They had the Shekinah glory of God. It was amazing.
God's defense. I mean, Hezekiah, right? The Assyrians. I mean, God defended it with Josiah. All of them. Overnight. Yeah, exactly.
And so I think they are our prophetic type. And so all the blessings that God gave them, He gave us. I think He founded this nation for the purpose of using our great natural resources, our ingenuity, our technological knowledge, and so forth, to spread the gospel all over the world. And we did so. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. For 200, 300 years, we did that, and God poured out His blessings upon this nation. And then we began to take Judah began to think, boy, we really earned all this. Yeah. We're really great, And they began to operate in pride. That led to rebellion, led to God giving them warnings and remedial judgments. And finally, God poured out His destruction upon them, destroyed the temple, destroyed Jerusalem, which they never thought could happen. And that's the way we are today. God is so patient, so kind, so full of loving kindness, and He's so patient with us, and He's sending us warnings of all kinds, and we are just going on our way.
Yeah.
Doing what we want to do, rebelling against God. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, the great Russian novelist, was kicked out of Russia when he won the Nobel Prize. They just kicked him out. And he came to the United States. A lot of people are not aware of that. Lived in Vermont. And Harvard University invited him, I forget what year it was in the 1970s, to come to Harvard as their commencement speaker. He arrived as a conquering hero, the man who had stood up against communism. And before his speech was over, they were loudly booing him, and he left as a pariah. He left as a pariah because in that speech he said, I have been in America now nearly 10 years, and I want to tell you, you're on the same road that Russia was on. You know why? Men have forgotten God. And that was one of God's messengers to us. A foreigner came to this country and said, you have forgotten God, and because of that, you're going to experience the same kind of wrath we have experienced if you don't repent. Yep.
You're on the same path. I mean, this is where, again, Malachi 3:6, God is, I change not, right? His nature, He will judge sin. This is what He does. I think about going back to the time of Judah. He sent Ezekiel, He sent Jeremiah, and one of the most, I would say, enigmatic passages is, and it's easy to remember, it's Jeremiah 11:14 and Jeremiah 14:11, where Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, he's getting these messages about the coming demise of Judah unless they repent. And finally, God just said, okay, it's over, it's done. And then Jeremiah goes, and he's still weeping, he's praying. God says in those two passages, stop praying for Judah. It's done. It's over. I'm not changing my mind. Do not pray for them. And you're like, well, wait, what? Yeah. I thought God always has the opportunity to relent. No, there comes a point.
There is a point when the wound becomes incurable, is the way the Bible puts it. When it reaches that point, for example, when Nahum went to Nineveh.
Nineveh, yeah.
Yeah. God said the wound is incurable. The first time Jonah went, they repented. The second time they did not, and God destroyed them.
It's not going to happen.
When the wound becomes, but let me tell you a passage even more powerful than that. That's in Ezekiel, where God told Ezekiel, I don't want you praying anymore for this nation. He said, this nation is so bad that if the three most righteous men who ever lived were praying for it, it would only be in behalf of their families, but not this nation.
Yep.
Because they've crossed the line. I've made my decision.
Even if Daniel, Job, and forgot who the other one was, maybe Samuel or something. If they showed up and interceded,
that's it.
I think Ezekiel 14. I mean, you're like,
I think it was Job, Noah, and Daniel.
Yeah, Job. Yeah, there it is. Job, Noah, and Daniel. Even if they showed up,
it's over. It's over.
There's nothing going to be.